Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 9, 2022-23 trapping season. So in this episode, I want to dedicate this more towards a beginner trapper, and I want to show y'all the secret to catching more coyotes. If you're a beginner trapper and wanting to catch more coyotes, or if you're just thinking about getting into trapping and you want to catch that first coyote. I made a lot of mistakes in my early coyote trapping days, and if I can help someone else make less mistakes in their beginning journey of trapping coyotes, then that would be great. And I'm talking about catching coyotes in lower populated areas. Now I know here in the state of Kentucky we got plenty of coyotes, and to some states, compared to some states, we got a higher population. But compared to other states, we have a lower population. Like you go way out west where you can set 20 traps and come back the next day and have 10 coyotes. There's not like that here. There's not 10 coyotes going to cross this field in one 24-hour period. Some of these hills and hollers and grassy areas is hard to find sign. So in this episode, I'm going to talk quite a bit about locations. I'm not saying bait and lures and things are not important, but you got to set on location, and you got to bed that trap proper. So in order for me to do all this, I'm going to need to take y'all out on the trap line with me. So as I'm checking traps, I'm going to show y'all some of the locations I picked and why I picked them, and show y'all some catches if we have any, just to try to help that beginner out that's wanting to get into trapping coyotes, or it's wanting to up the numbers on catching coyotes. So y'all come along, let's go check some traps. So right here's a perfect location for trapping coyotes. You got a draw that runs all the way up there to a piece of timber. I talked about this in my last episode, but it's just a draw that runs down through here, and then you get down here into a little patch of trees, and then nothing all the way down to the timber down there. You got a creek down there. They run that bottom field down there, which I got a few sets down there. When I set this draw, I couldn't find any sign, any tracks, any scat, nothing like that, because a lot of times here in the state of Kentucky, a lot of times what we run into is there's grass all winter, especially in these cow pastures and things like that. And unless you stumble upon some scat or something like that, or find some hair in the fence line or something, it's really hard to find signs sometimes. So you just kind of have to go by instinct. And coyotes also hunt these draws and things like that. But that's why I picked this location. And I set a trap right over here. It was just a dirt hole set. Now it's turned into more of a trench set. I done picked up 2 coyotes right here this year. And then I got right down on the other side of those trees, I got another set that I caught a coyote in. So despite the sign, that's why I set this location. It just makes sense for the animals to go from that timber up there and work their way down through here in the draw. They can do that without being seen much, and they can also hunt mice and rabbits and whatever else that's hunkered down in this draw. So right here's another location. It's the bottom. The creek runs over there where the trees are, and it kind of bottlenecks down right in here where I'm parked at. I set a trap over there next to that fallen little limb over there. I got a set over there, and I had a set by that stump right there. I caught a double here a while back right here. And a lot of times when coyotes come back through a bottom like this, one of them be hunting one side and one of them the other side, and they'll crisscross and check in on each other, but they'll kind of hunt both sides as they run back through here. And when I was in my beginning days of trapping coyotes, I would have sat right up next to the bank over there somewhere. I'd have sat right up next to it, and same way over here, because I figured they would be in the woods or right tight on the edge. But a lot of times they'll run out from the edge. That's probably 10 yards out to that stump right there, and over there I got the set I got it right there on the end of that fallen tree right there. They're going to go around that, so that's about 10 yards out from the edge. Just standing there watching me. And when I'm checking traps, I'm always looking for new spots to put sets in. So I'm out here in the wide open field. Let me just pan around and show y'all where I'm at. It's a big open field, and it's hay field, and then part time of year it's cattle pasture. There's nothing out here. There's a tree over there, and you go down over that way, there's some timber that runs down in a big draw, and the same way over there behind that barn, some timber runs off in a big draw. But I bet if we look really hard, we can find coyote sign out here in this wide open field. Like I say, it's a little low spot, and they'll cross these. When I was a kid, I was thinking of coyote trapping. I thought trapping in the woods, because that's where I always seen coyotes when deer hunting and stuff. But they use the woods for shelter. That's where they sleep at. It's kind of where they live at. But at nighttime, when everything gets quieted down, they come out here in these wide open fields and they hunt mice. I'm not saying you can't trap them in the woods. I have done it and caught coyotes, but I catch way more out here in the wide open fields. So this little low spot, I'm gonna hunt real good for sign and see if I can find any. If there's any coyotes around. It's hard to find sign in these spots because it's grass, there's no snow, no mud, so you just really got to look for scratching, where they've been digging up a mole or a scat. But regardless whether I find sign or not, I'm going to put a set in here, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Just walk around here and look a little while. And that's what I look for when I'm looking to put in sets, especially on new properties. This is the first year I'm trapping this one. See right there? A mole hole or a mouse hole or something like that. That's what they're doing out here. They're looking for things like that. There's got to be some sign out here. Oh, well, no, never mind. Check it out, check it out. Scat, coyote scat. Right there, nice pile of scat. I knew if we looked real hard, we'd probably find something. And that's why sometimes you'll see that I'm trapping out here in these wide open fields, and I catch more coyotes out here than I do close to the woods or anything like that. You want to just look a little bit more. Oh, check it out. Coyote scat. Right there in a little mouse trail. And right over here is some digging. There's a nice footprint. They stepped on some cow poo right there. Hopefully my camera focus. Nice coyote footprint right there in that cow poop. So yeah, I'm gonna put a set here. It really needs 2 sets, but today I'm probably just gonna put one. We're getting a little bit of snow right now, so hopefully they'll be moving tonight. I still got a lot of sets to check, so I'm gonna set the camera up, show y'all how I set it up, and put at least 1 set in real quick. And if I feel frisky, I might put 2. But I feel like this might be a good spot. Like I say, again, just a low spot. It's out here away from anything. Alright, so I think I'll put a set right here next to this little sage grass. There's some mice holes over here. And then I'm going to go down. That scat I found was down there about 10-12 yards. And I might put in another set. So y'all stay tuned. I'm going to show y'all one of these, and then I'll show them both when I get them done. Alright, hopefully y'all can see this alright. So, I'm going to kind of use that sage grass right there as a backing. I'm not going to go all the way back up to it, but close to it. And I'm just going to dig a hole real quick. I like this hole to be about 10-12 inches deep. Alright. I'll just remove some of this grass away down here. hammer me out of the trap bed. Sometimes I'll make a little path from my trap bed to the hole. I like to hammer them out nice and deep. Make room for my levers. Hammer them out nice and deep so I got room for all this right here to go in there. Set that, make sure it don't come up. Hold the mule. Now I'll go ahead and set my trap. Now I use polyfill under the pan to keep dirt from getting under there and preventing it from going off. Just gotta make sure it don't stick up out of the dirt. Night latch, that's pretty quiet, probably couldn't hear it on camera. Nice and flat. Solid. Make sure that trap's solid. If there's any wiggle, get it back out and fix it until it ain't. This is just peat moss and wax sand mix. Keep it from freezing. It also helps with wet conditions. Take this dirt that I dug up, sift it over top. That way the color's not so much different. I'll take and just kind of rough it up a bit. I like to have some little chunks around. Don't want no rocks that get between the jaws, but little chunks of dirt are okay. Now that's a set right there, ready to go. Make sure that's packed real good though. At least that'll work, nothing fancy. Bait and lure, y'all stay tuned. Alright, for bait and lure, for this one I'm going to put some of my shapeshifter down the hole on some sheep's wool. Get a good healthy chunk on there. Down the hole she goes. They can see that sheep's wool down in there. Push that top down. So it gives them a visual, just that much more of an attractant. And then for lure, I'm going to use a little red end. It's a red fox gland lure. Even though I'm trying to catch a coyote, it's going to smell like there was a fox here. And I'm going to smear that on the back inside the hole, but on the back of it. They'll be able to smell that plenty down in there. And then I'm going to put the wind's blowing over my set. I don't always do this, but I'm going to take just a touch of Hellfire from Dunlap and smear it up here at the top of this sage, standing here behind it, like that. I don't want that on the ground. Get them up to it. Put it on the ground and try to roll in it sometimes. secret sauce. This here is part of a female coyote. It smells like a female coyote. Put it down in the hole. Push that underneath the sheep's wool there. Just like that, and that's it, done. Ready for a coyote. Oh, almost done. This scat that was laying here, we'll lay it right there. Now that set's ready for a coyote. I'm gonna put the other set right down there where I got my trapping bag, and that's where the other scat was at. Put in another set pretty much same as this one. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, there's my other set. And I put it right here where the scat was. I just left the scat laying right there where it was. Kind of like this one better. To me it looks a little more natural. I used Tandy's Wolf Creek bait and some dead end coyote gland and some farmland gland in that one. And I also have a set over there next to the fence row, which I caught a coyote right there in that low spot in my last video. Then you go down here where that tree is, and I got a set down there by that gate. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Y'all stay tuned. Still out here checking traps. Alright y'all, I'm over here on the farm that I call the Bobcat farm. I got a few sets set over here for bobcats and coyotes. I got sets along this fence row. And then go down through here. There's a bobcat set down there underneath where that feather's hanging. And another one up from it. Then I went out here where that sage grass is right there. Probably see the catch circle. And I put a set for coyotes. All there is a little low spot. And instead of setting it up here by the fence, I set it out 20 yards or so. And actually, it needs a couple more sets up through that low spot. But like I say, I mainly set this up for bobcats, and I put that there. And I caught 4 coyotes out of that low spot already. And I also caught one up here at the right there in that corner, and caught another one down this way in another set. So what I was mentioning earlier about setting out in fields and low spots and draws and things like that, I still set up fence rows and ditch lines, pinch points, logging rows, you know, any 2 tracks that have any sign, and all those spots, if you're getting into trapping, those are all still good spots to set. I've just learned over the years, I'm trying to bring it to you to try to save that new person from making some of the beginners mistakes, if you will, that I made. Because now, by setting out in the fields like that, I catch more coyotes with less traps. So I don't set as many traps as I used to, but I catch more coyotes than I used to. I still set fence rows and all that other stuff too. But anyway, I got old Ricky right here in a DP that I had set to keep him out of my bobcat sets. It looked like it worked. I bet when he fell asleep there, he didn't think about never waking back up again. I'm about to take his lights out, so I'm gonna get him took care of, remake that DP real quick, and go check some more traps. This is what I had in that DP. Some of Funky's Raccoon Delight. It smells like cherries. Apparently they like it. It worked on that one. Y'all stay tuned. I just wanted to show y'all this location. Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel here. We're out here checking traps. I got some guests with me today from up around Lexington. They drove over 2 hours down here to run the trap line with me this morning, and I'm gonna hook them up with some of my bait and stuff. But we're out here on the line. I got Barry, Robert, and Blake with me from up around Lexington. So thanks to those guys for making the trip all the way down here. I enjoy when I have people with me out here checking traps. Just more fun when you got people with you. But what I got right here is a cow path that comes along the fence, and then it comes over here and there's a draw that runs up that way, and that draw just funnels right down in here, and there's a cow path follows down along this fence, that draw that comes out of there. So it should be a hot spot here. I've had this set here for a couple weeks and it hasn't been, I caught an old farm dog in it, but other than that it ain't been touched until this morning. We got that nice coyote. Take a good look at him. Yeah, he's deep pad catch. He ain't going nowhere. Probably this spring's coyote, I would imagine. He blends into that grass so good it's hard to see him. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I was started this episode out, is about showing y'all locations, things like that. You set up spots like this and they just make really good spots to catch coyotes. We're gonna get this one took care of, remake the set, and I'll show y'all what the set looks like after I remake it. Alright y'all, this is the set. This is what it looks like after I remade it. Just a dirt hole set right there. And I got some shapeshifter and fox gland right in the hole, and some skunk back there on top of that post. The wind's normally blowing down over the set. Y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm still out here checking traps. Me and the boys from Lexington still out here. And we're up here in this draw. I caught 2 coyotes in this draw earlier in the season. We got a nice red here. See if we can zoom in on him. Not real camera friendly, but I got a deep catch on him. There you go. Ain't that a beauty? I'm gonna go ahead and take this one and remake that set, and I'll show y'all what it looks like afterward. But all this is a draw, and I've talked about it in the last episode and in this episode. Just a draw, and everything coming up or down pretty much is probably going to use it. Alright, there's the set remade. It's kind of like a trench set. I call it a trench set. And that's what it looked like before I caught the fox. I caught 2 coyotes here. They tore it up pretty good, so I just dirt hole turned it into a trench set. I'm going to put some shapeshifter. Actually, and all the bait's still down in the hole. All the bait was still down the hole, and what I had there was shapeshifter, my bait, and a little bit of Wolf Creek from Tandy's, and I think some red end fox glands what I had there. So see if it'll do it again. Y'all stay with us. Alright, so I'm out here in the field where I put those 2 sets, one right up there and one right here, the other day earlier in this video. And I had something right here last night and it pulled out, which is unfortunate, but that just shows that the animals are out here in this wide open field like this. I wasn't really expecting a coon or possum to be way out here. That's another reason I like setting out here, because I catch less off catches in my coyote sets. But if you look at this, I don't know if it's going to focus on camera. There's some hair right here, fur, and I would say that's either a raccoon. Yeah, it ain't going to focus. I can't hold still enough. That's probably either a raccoon or a bobcat. It don't look like coyote. So whatever it was, it got away. I'm going to reset it, move on. I just wanted to show y'all that. Maybe I'll have one here tomorrow. Alright, so I'm out here on a new farm doing a little scouting. And here's another location that should be a good spot for coyotes. The old barn that fell down right there, and it's just all growed up around it. It's just a long field here. Over that way you got a big cedar thicket, and it runs down there to a fence row, runs way out there. But this right out here is in the middle of the field pretty much. This growed up spot makes a good vocal point for anything to check out. And there's like a 2-track that runs back here to it, and right here is some scat. So I'll be setting this location up. I still got a lot of scouting to do on this farm, but I'm just out here looking at my options, and I'm gonna try to punch in a couple sets before the end of the day. So y'all stay with me. So I'm walking down this 2-track, and right there's another nice little coyote scat. So I'll definitely be putting some traps along this 2-track here. And it goes all the way up yonder. When I find some more good spots, I'll turn the camera back on, show y'all where I setting them. So as I come up this 2-track a little bit further, I was right back there earlier, walking up through here, and right here is kind of an intersection, runs over into another field right there. I'll be setting one over here by the 2-track, and it really needs one on the other side there too. Not always you find places that great to set up, but if you do, I'd definitely set them up. So I'm gonna set them up and see what happens. Y'all stay tuned. Kind of excited about this farm. I had to go find my truck. I parked somewhere and then drive back here and put these in. Alright y'all, I'm back out here on the trap line checking traps. This is the second day after I set up this farm. This is that 2-track. Back that way is the old barn. And I got some more sets back that way that I gotta check. But I come up this 2-track, if you remember, and put in a couple sets. And day 2 right there is a nice coyote. I figured this intersection be a good spot. I didn't see any sign right up here by the intersection, but it's just a natural place for animals to cross through like this. And sure enough, second day, and I'm running mostly dirt hole sets. I catch probably 75% of my coyotes in dirt hole sets. Like I say, there's all kinds of sets you can use: flat sets, scent post sets, trail sets, snares, you name it. But I catch probably 75% of them at least in dirt hole sets. That's what I had there, just some bait and lure and dirt hole set. Pretty coyote. Get it dispatched and that's probably a male, by the way he's acting. Anyway, gotta love it. That's number 20 for the season. Nice coyote. I say that's a male. I was probably mistaken. First I thought it looked like a young female, but usually when they're kind of aggressive like that, usually a lot of times they're males. So I'm gonna get him out of here and I'll remake this set real quick. Alright, I'm gonna do this remake for y'all real quick. I run mostly Duke 550s, but this is a Richard number 2 dogless. Running low on the other ones. I like to snap them off, get some of the dirt off before I reset them, if they're dirty looking. There's the polyfill that was under the pan, so I just replaced it. The dirt hole is right under that hunk of grass. Most time they don't get the bait. I'd say he didn't. Although I'm not feeling it. There it is. I'm gonna put that right back down in there. Make me a little hole for my swivels. Spot for the levers. Now on these dogless traps, not a lot of room under the pan once I night latch them. I just put a little polyfill on the front there. I ain't worried about back here. Just like so. Something down there. It's pretty dang solid right there. Gonna tighten it up just a little. Just for insurance. Tight, set nice and flat. Polyfill peat moss mixture. Sand peat moss mixture. This stuff really helps if you got freezing conditions. Or a lot of rain. Pack it in there tight. If there's any loose stuff, I'll sift it over top. Sometimes it's not. I'll go out and dig some up. The only soft spot needs to be the pan. There we go. Boy, that dude was stinky. Wish y'all could smell through the camera. Stinky. The old male. Want that lowest spot to be the pan. Usually that's where they step. Alright, that's the set. I said I was done, but I want to show you all the size of this dude. He ain't a small coyote by any means. That's a big coyote. Heavy too. He's up here, you can see his nose touching the ground and his feet are by my hat brim. So that's a big one.